Live from New York City, it's the Wendy Williams Show. Today, Wendy gives you her take on all of the latest sizzling hot topics. And the outrageous actress and comedian Sandra Bernhard is here. Plus, can you guess the famous face? We're playing our new game, Who's That? Now, here's Wendy!
Co-host, my studio audience. I'm doing great. Let's get started. It's time for... Well, tomorrow is the big day. It's the day that we kick off Wendy's spring cha-ching. Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. I'm gonna be calling Lucky Wendy watchers live on the air, and if you can correctly answer a question about the show. Now, when I say the show, I'm talking about the show in its entirety. You know, it's not just going to be something in Hot Topics. I could ask you something like, you know, we did audience eye candy. What was our eye candy's winner's name? And then you say Teresa, and then I say, yeah! Now I'm gonna spin the wheel, and whatever it lands on, you win. You can win up to $5,000. Yeah. But the key is to make sure that you pay close attention to the show, okay? So I'm gonna make my first phone call tomorrow. Go to my Facebook page to find out how you can enter, and you'll find that out there. You know, there are some people who look terrific, whether they are overweight, underweight, or just right. And I've always said one of those people is the dearly departed Anna Nicole Smith. Yes. But to me, another one of those people is Christina Aguilera. Yes. I find Christina Aguilera to be a very attractive woman, whether she's, now she's got a 9-month-old, so remember she had a baby, but I find her to be attractive whether she's, you know, very overweight for her or just right. She's just attractive, you know? But now she's being accused of getting butt implants. Now, before we show, well, there it is. Okay, look at the picture. Okay, let me just take you through it because I know she's a Latina and, you know, she's always had a little bit of junk in her trunk, on her midriff, right here. You know, she's that type of girl. However, this is her butt 8 weeks ago. And this is her butt now. So what I'm thinking, and I'm not sure about this, is her stomach also looks flatter. Maybe she got a little fat transferred from the front and put into the back. I mean, it looks great. When is the butt revolution going to end so boobs can be back in style? Really? No, I'm not getting a reduction. Yes, it is very embarrassing, particularly as a woman of color, to have such a flat booty that I do have. But, you know, for me, my party's in the front. You can't have a party in the front and in the back and be 6 feet tall with a large personality and a giant wig. Something's got to give. So... And then somebody in our morning meeting said, well, maybe those are butt pads. No, I don't know whether they're butt pads. Has anybody in the audience ever worn a butt pad? Do you get, well, no, it's okay, it's okay. Do they shift? If it stays in place? Do you wear it often?
No, I don't wear them anymore when I was younger.
When you were younger? See, most of us, I think when we were younger, has anyone in the audience ever stuffed their bra? Yeah, right. So, somewhere around 8th grade, right, girls? And we don't know what we're doing. And the bra looks all lumpy. You know, we look like fools, but yeah, clap if you think she got butt implants. The problem problem with all these implants, whether they're breast implants or butt implants or whatever, is eventually something's got to give. Like, you can't possibly walk around. You know, my mom turns 80 in a few weeks, and I look at her and I'm just like, okay, you know. But you know, she's got a look, you know, you start to shrink as an older woman, and then you know, your body just changes. When you can't have an 80-year-old presence and 25-year-old boobs, which is what's going to happen to me, which is why I know I'll get a reduction one day, because they're under the muscle, so they're sagging as much as they ever will. I know. They're terrific. And so I know that I'll get a reduction, and I know that there is breast reduction surgery, although the scars are horrible, but anyway. But once you get older, like when she gets to be 80 like my mom, okay, osteoporosis sets in, you know, you start shrinking, you start, you know, looking 80, but then she's gonna have the butt of a 25-year-old. Like, how does that, yeah, because the implants, they are there. So all these girls walking around with these, you know, big, gigantic behinds. Is there such thing as a butt reduction surgery? I've never heard of it. I can imagine the scarring would look worse than like getting a breast reduction. Anyway, Xtina, we're watching you. No matter what size you are or what you do, we like you. Told you it wouldn't work. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Well, no, they're still married, but this has about 30 more seconds. Watch. Problem is that she's 29 years old and he's 51, and she at 29 years old, you should know the basic blueprint on how to be a reasonable wife. The blueprint. You know, sometimes when you're 21 and you get married and you're still a girl and you don't understand that you forsake all others. You can't be, oh my God, you know. But Amber is 29 years old. She should know the basic blueprint, except she doesn't. Reportedly, she's getting too close, again, with one of her female friends. Now, you know, Amber is sexually fluid. See, and a lot of times, guys, some of you all are Neanderthals because you love a sexually fluid woman because you feel as though you can jump in the bed with her and her friend. Except that doesn't work. That doesn't work because, you know, anyway, so here's what happened. First of all, this is the friend. She looks aggressive, doesn't she? Okay, so the friend is a photographer, and Johnny and Amber have been married for 2 months. They're still supposed to be in their honeymoon period, except Amber still wants to run around town. Like, she still likes to, you know, go to the clubs. And, you know, Johnny should have been smart enough to see this in the beginning, but I guess he was just, you know, overwhelmed by her loveliness or something. In the meantime, the aggressor, what's her name? Io. Okay. Io seems to, first of all, Johnny moved Io into a guest house on their property. Exactly, okay, exactly. Now, I don't know that Amber has ever been linked romantically to Io, but Io is a big activist in the gay and lesbian community. And so she was living in a house on the property at one point. Then Johnny's surprised that the girls are getting close again. First of all, it's bad enough, talking about sexual fluidness, it's bad enough when you walk in a room, you know, and you're with somebody attractive on your arm, and you're looking to see who else they think they're attractive, so you're looking to the right. But when you're with somebody sexually fluid, you have to look to the right, and to the left, and down here, and up here. Like, honestly, that would drive me, like, I couldn't do it. That would drive me absolutely nuts. So now, apparently, she doesn't live in the guest house anymore, but what she is doing is posting things online. Like, Io posted a picture and called Amber my love. Let's see the picture. Okay? In my opinion, I believe Io is directly throwing darts at Johnny Depp, like direct dart throwing at Johnny, you know? Also, Io posted a picture of a hotel bed. Let's see the picture. With the sheets mussy. What'd she say slick under that?
It was where Amber was rumored to be staying.
Oh, it was where Amber was rumored to be staying. Johnny, you don't even need to make Amber choose. Because if you have to ask your wife of 2 months, who's a grown woman at 29, to choose between her aggressive friend and you, this is not a marriage. Get it annulled. Like honestly. Get it annulled, go back to the drawing board. Amber needs to grow up. Amber needs to know that, you know, when you take a husband, what that means. And it certainly doesn't mean, well. Look, Johnny, I'm sure you'll handle the situation and we will be watching. I can't follow this Miley Cyrus and Patrick Schwarzenegger thing. Like, they're broken up, they're back together, they're broken up, well, now they're taking a break, is what they call it. Okay, she's 21. What's so serious in love that you have to take a break? Aren't breaks for like people who like have kids and you know and the stresses of life on your shoulder and you're not sure whether you want to stay and you say let's take a break. Even then, you know what a break means? I don't know how you define a break, but I defined it as strange meat all the time. At 21, things shouldn't be so complicated. She's 21, he just graduated from college. They're taking a break. I think that in a lot of cases when people say we're taking a break, it's because they don't have the guts to say, this didn't work out, it's over. There's one person I'm sure that's probably very happy about that, and that is Maria Shriver, who never wanted him to be with Miley anyway. But I don't think that Maria should gloat on account of, you know, she's too mature for that. Like, I don't think she should go to Patrick and say, I didn't like her anyway. You know what I mean? She should just handle it ladylike. But the whole take a break thing, that's like scary to me. If you're fighting with your man, to sleep in the guest room is one thing. But to take a break after you've been with somebody for, 5 years or 10 years or a decade or whatever, I mean, who thinks that means hashtag I'm cheating my off? Thank you. I mean, you could still honor the break and maybe get back together, but then who wants you after you've been smutted out for the last month by strange men? We've spent too much time on this story. Let's move on. Scarlett Johansson, you know, she's a mom. She married some French guy, and they live between America and France. Anyway, that's him. He looks mean, right? Anyway, Scarlett says that, you know, even though she's a mom and her daughter is 7 months old, she's not a parenting expert and she can't stand it when celebrities give parenting advice. I don't really get offended by that. I don't get offended whether you give parenting advice or a celebrity, you know, because ultimately speaking, parenting is such an individual thing. And, you know, honestly speaking, I think celebrities are the worst people to give parenting advice. I'm gonna tell you why. Because they're busy talking down at you. In the meantime, they have nannies with drivers and cars and they, just minions of people and kids off in boarding school or whatever they do. They, like, don't give parenting advice to people who have to be parents every doggone day. Imagine if there was such thing as taking a break from parenting. I think that's called a vacation without the kids. Yeah. But you know, I don't mind advice from celebrities because it just makes me more firm in what I believe. Like, for instance, Alicia Silverstone believes in, you know, Clueless. There she is. She believes in chewing the food in her mouth and then spitting it in her child's mouth like a bird. You remember this scandal was like last year this time. Well, I personally think that's disgusting. It's another crazy parent giving advice that I don't care about, but I'm open to listening because it's interesting to see what other people do in their houses. You know, Mayim Bialik believes in that family bed. She's a friend to the show. She came here. I'm not talking out of turn. We talked about it, and I think I gave her the same face that I'm giving you now. Like, really? But all the kids sleep in the same bed. It's called, what do they call it? Like a parenting, Suzanne, what do they call it?
I don't know what, attachment parenting.
Yeah, attachment. Oh. Attachment parenting. Do you sleep in the bed with your kids? Yeah. I wasn't asking you, but as long as we're talking, go. Really?
I sleep with Pete. He's in a twin bunk bed. Yeah, I hold him. He's so cute.
Where does Brendan sleep?
Well, Brendan sleeps in the other room where Jack sleeps. So, yeah, I know, it's an issue. We need to fix it.
So when you want romantic time?
Well, in the morning when they're downstairs.
I mean, no, we've discussed this years ago, but I wasn't putting you on the spot. I was actually talking to our co-host, but I guess you feel guilty, so you decided to.
I do.
Confession is good for the soul, Suzanne.
I'm sweating.
Okay. Anyway, Maya Bialik, you know, she's got the bed with all the kids, and you know, Gwyneth Paltrow only wants to feed her kids like stuff that's gluten-free and from her garden, and some of us, we leave our kids alone being watched by a dog when the kid's only 10 years old. No, do you know what I mean? It's just interesting. I don't get offended by it. I'm not as uptight as Scarlett Johansson, but I guess because the baby's only 7 months, so she's still hormonal, you know, and just saying anything. You remember how that was? Anyway, is she morphing into her ex, Johnny Depp's ex, Robin Wright Penn? Sean Penn? I'm sorry. Okay, Scarlett Johansson used to date Sean Penn. And Sean Penn has a type. He likes a blonde with little hair. You know, he was married to Robin Wright Penn, and now he's involved with Charlize Theron, who's a blonde woman with little hair. And so he's got a type. Interesting. Yeah. I think she looks better with more hair, though, but that's just me. All right, she didn't ask me for hair advice, so let's move on. Do you watch R&B Divas LA? I know you guys can't wait for the reunion. Guess who's hosting? Ta-da! Tonight is the reunion, and the new diva on the show, Stacey. This is Stacey right here. She's from Brooklyn, and Stacey wanted to clear up an old rumor about an alleged fight that she had with Whitney Houston, and it's our hot clip of the day. Roll it. The word on the blog is that 2 days before Whitney Houston passed away, Kelly Price had a Grammy party, and you and Whitney and a lot of and a lot of the girls
No, you embellished and you
were
lied.
there, and Ray J was there. Tell the rest of the story.
Tell it.
So you can get closure. Yes,
we
can get. This is the place.
Okay. Well, I've known Ray and I've known Brandy. Brandy was 14, so however old Ray was.
That was her boyfriend at the time.
Yes. She didn't know who I was to him. So she just was curious about that relationship, I guess. Because it was a loud club, you know, you're talking to someone, you just don't know what that dynamic is.
And I guess she thought you were trying to push up.
Yes,
Okay.
and I wasn't. And that was all it was. That was the end of it, really.
And so she did not slap you?
No, I did not get slapped by Whitney Houston and Chrisette Michelle.
That was a very long day. There was a lot of drama and shade being thrown left and right. It's 2 parts. Now, part 1 of R&B Divas LA the reunion airs tonight at 10 on TV1.